one of the ways I measure my life now. About once a year, I stop and I think about where I'm at. Am I on the right track? Here's the question that I have to answer every year. Is the life I have now worth having killed for it? It's easy to look back and go, that was the wrong choice. People talk about remorse and don't you feel bad about what happened? Yeah, I feel bad about what happened. I didn't have what I saw as a viable choice then. I want people to realize that there is bad all around them. Pay attention to your world. Pay attention to the people around you. Evil lives everywhere. Pay attention. Every parent should be careful because you don't know the lesson you're teaching sometimes. I don't think any child grows up not first feeling that their parents are their gods. I was betrayed by the gods of my childhood. These people were supposed to bring me into the world, protect me, and raise me so that I could function in it. There were times life was fantastic. My father and I would take off and go camping. When it was just the two of us in that kind of setting, everything was great. That's probably about as close to happy as I can remember.
Now you see this lure? This is one of my favorites. I've caught a lot of fish with this lure.
But there was one time I said something that he took as being a, smart mouth answer.
Get me that sleeping bag, all right?
I'll get it when I'm done.
And the backhand came across.
You do what I tell you to do, boy. You got it?
Don't say smart mouth things. You back talk, and I will hit you.
When I ask you to do something, you do it. Right away.
He was a very large, powerful person. A backhand from him, that's not a love tap. Not from him. He thought of it as discipline. But at the same time, there were times we'd go out and everything's great, and it never occurs to me that this is anything other than my best friend. When things are good, it's very easy to forget the bad that happened, at least for a little while. My brother was never expected to do anything. My father invested all of his effort in his number one son. I got all of the attention. But every year, the discipline becomes worse. And failure has constantly increasing costs. There was a time when my father wanted me to vacuum up our dining room. And somewhere along the line, I'd picked up a little screwdriver and I just put it in my pocket. And while I was vacuuming, the thing fell out of my pocket. Well, my dad come in to see how the vacuuming went, and so he's looking over the whole floor, and he went absolutely ballistic.
Did you vacuum the whole room?
Yes.
Really?
Because,
Well, what's this?
how could I possibly miss this screwdriver sitting in the middle of the floor if I had actually vacuumed the floor?
What's this? Huh?
Off comes the belt, and he just started hitting.
I told you! Never lie to me! Ever!
Just losing control and continuing to hit.
You just don't learn!
Please stop.
You think I want to do this? This is for your own good! Don't lie to me! Ever!
For my mother, typically, once that started, she would simply walk into another room and wait. It would be absolutely pointless for her to step in between, because the only thing that could happen at that point is her getting hit.
It's for your own good!
But every time that I wound up getting beat down, afterwards, there was my mother making me feel better. And it was my mother who would, put a bandage on it or help with the ice, or if necessary, take me up to the hospital. She was always comforting. Just do what he says. Don't talk back. Encouragement on how to avoid it.
You okay? Right? Oh, my baby.
It was always me and my mother. When I was in the 3rd grade, I failed a spelling report. And rather than show my dad this grade, which was kind of what the school required, you have to take the grades and get it signed off and bring it back, I changed the grade or I forged his signature, one of the two. Took him back to school. And shortly thereafter, the principal, of course, dutifully got a hold of my father and let him know what the problem was. He was so mad. Not only did I fail, but worse than anything, I covered it up and lied to him. And that absolutely required punishment. And it just kept going until I couldn't stand there anymore. He used me like a freaking piñata. All you really think about is just, please stop. Eventually, he just got out of breath and his arm got tired. When my mother did get home, she put me in a tub filled with ice and water to try and get the swelling from everywhere down. He has to be stopped. Wouldn't it just be better if he was dead?
Think how happy we would be. It's okay. It's gonna be all right, okay? Because you are strong.
I'm sitting in the tub of ice, and I hurt, and I'm absolutely father. And she's sitting there going, you've got to do something about this. You can't keep going through this. Wouldn't it be better if he was dead?
Think how happy we would be.
I was in the 3rd freaking grade. How are you supposed to take that? You're sitting there and anything that's not numb from ice hurts. It's not a big leap to go, yeah, it'd be better if he was dead.
You can do this.
The suggestion in the tub, without a doubt, changed everything for me. Because it took me from just trying to survive what was happening to trying to figure out how I could fix the future.
You'll know what to do.
After the bathtub, we sit down and had a little chat.
Eric, come here. Come.
She asked the question, how can we stop him? And that's what solidifies in my mind that I'm the one that needs to do this. I'm the one that needs to come up with a solution.
Have you thought of anything yet? How to get rid of him? I don't know.
And so we went through multiple scenarios and options. She would ask, out of all the ways that you could possibly kill him, what do you think is the best way? Okay, what do you need to do that?
Eric, I have a plan that I think is really going to work.
He took a lot of vitamins. And, well, my mom found these plank capsules that happened to resemble several different kinds he had. So she started packing them with everything from rat poison to Valium. You know, I come in one time and she's just putting them all together and refilling the bottle. After it's done, there was the next few hours of kind of being on edge because is it going to work? Is it not? Is he going to figure it out? He gets up and says, I feel dizzy or I'm feeling sick. Does he know? Reason for helping my mother. I was always taught to believe that you're supposed to protect, defend, support your family against anybody and anything. And if my definition of family seems a little strange because it somehow excluded my father, it excluded him because he became the threat. There were so many times that I walked in and she was spiking something, from mashed potatoes to cans of tuna. Go set this on the table. Here, take this glass out to your dad. Don't take a sip of that. And then we would, sit down at the table, have dinner, but do you use the gravy or what was it spiked with? The mashed potatoes might be okay, but what's that white there? She went about trying to poison him for 7-8 years. To keep doing that day in and day out requires patience and planning. But I don't think he was ever suspicious about his food was being tampered with. I don't think it crossed his mind that she could possibly get the backbone to try and kill him.
This just isn't working, Eric. Just isn't doing it.
Every poisoning that fails, there was always this push for me doing something directly and extreme.
You have to find something to end this problem permanently.
The poisoning was simply something so that she could say, see, I'm doing what I can. Why haven't you done what you're supposed to?
Step up, Eric.
When are you going to get the nerve to go shoot him? What's the problem?
You have to do this. You have to do this now. No more stalling.
Why don't you hide behind the door so that he doesn't see it coming? The plan was to stay behind where our door opened, and then when he came home, he would go through, and when the door closed, it would give me a clear line of sight at the back of him. Standing behind that door, I was absolutely terrified. He comes home, goes through the door. I couldn't move. This isn't going to work. Standing behind that door, I was absolutely terrified. He comes home, goes through the door. I freeze up. I can't do anything. He was so big and the gun was so small. Pulling the trigger and failing, that was a fear. It's just complete and total paralyzed right there. And he goes in and lays down on the couch to take a nap. And I'm stuck at this doorway and then trying to sneak out of there when I finally hear him snoring. And I remember talking to my mom afterwards about that and her asking what happened and me trying to explain I just couldn't do it. Why not? I don't know, I just couldn't do it. I couldn't move. And she basically just talked me through calming down and reassured me that it'd be a better day tomorrow. We'll do this, we'll do it together. The pressure kept growing. If I'm gonna be the man, then I have to step up and protect them. I'm the only one who can do something about it. This eventually reached a point where she winds up telling me that if this doesn't happen, that she's leaving and not coming back until he's dead. She was going to take her stuff, gone, and we were going to fend for ourselves with him. On the night he died, it finally comes down to she leaves. And then there was a phone call. I'm gonna be back in about 10 or 15 minutes, and if he's not dead, I'm leaving. I'm done. My father was asleep on a couch, and I was standing just a few feet back from his head. Part of me, I want to just raise the gun and pull the trigger and do this. And another part is I'm just having a real problem finding the ability to pull the trigger. Pulling that trigger is going to change everything. And then I see the light, and I know it's her car coming back. I knew beyond a shadow of a doubt at that point that if he's not dead by the time she walks through that door, I'm choosing to be with him forever. That's it. I wound up pulling the trigger. After I pulled the trigger, the door opened and my mom took the gun from me.
You did it. Stay there. Give it to me. Give it to me.
She goes over to make sure that he is dead. Picks up the phone and calls the police. She kept talking the whole time she was getting ready for the police to arrive.
Say it.
Have a story and stick to it. I found a gun. I tripped carrying it into him. It went off. We called the police. That was it. And if I do that, then there's nothing that they can put on her. And in a worst case scenario, I will go to juvie and get out when I'm 18. Because they can't hold me as an adult.
Good. Yes.
And I was willing to pay that price for my mother, for my brother, so everything could go on and have a good life.
Good job, big man. You did it.
The detective started questioning me.
Well, okay, look, I know this is tough. Look, was your mom home when you shot your dad?
She was present for whatever got said.
No. She arrived a few moments afterwards.
Okay.
I didn't really get the sense that she was proud because I had killed him. But later on that evening, when the police finally had to say, it looks like this was an accident, then she was proud of me. I had stuck with the plan. How I felt after that was just really numb and indifferent. It's just, whew, that's over. There was no guilt to it. At that point, all I could really see was that what I needed to do had been done. Did I know the difference between right and wrong? Yes. Did I know murder was wrong? Yes. People talk about remorse and don't you feel bad about what happened? Yeah, I feel bad about what happened. I didn't have what I saw as a viable choice then. I missed the good times I had with my dad. I have to get up every day. knowing that I took out one of the most important figures in my life. And what I can do is live my life and make it a good one because it cost me a hell of a lot to get it.
So let's talk about...
Can we stop for just a minute?
Sure. Yeah, definitely.
She was always called Grandma. My mother acted like she really liked Elaine. She liked the same brand of cigarettes that Elaine smoked, and they were perfectly happy to sit there and sip on Tom Collins together. There were never any arguments. I remember seeing her adding something to a drink she was mixing. What's going on? Killing him should have been the turning point of we're going to have a bright and happy future after this. The problem is she couldn't settle into just having a nice life. I had come in and startled her, seeing her add something to Elaine's drink.
What are you doing?
I don't even remember what reason she gave me why Elaine needed to die.
Listen, Eric. Your father wasn't the only person in this world who deserves a little punishment.
I didn't care what the reason was. There's just no reason that she could give that would make it okay. My father was an obvious, imminent, physical threat. Elaine could never have become a threat. She wouldn't put her own neck on the line for this. If I wasn't there to pull the trigger, nothing else could happen. She'd just be spinning her wheels. Once I came to the conclusion that, well, if I'm not here, nothing can happen, it becomes a simple matter of what is my way out. So I decided to join the Navy. I didn't even make it through boot camp before it all started coming unraveled. I wind up calling home. I said hello, and the next thing I'm hearing is there was an accident.
What?
Your brother and I need your help.
I need to come home.
Now?
Yes, right away. We need you.
Elaine's dead. I tried to get away so that it couldn't happen. And I failed to take into account the fact that she was just going to get my brother to do it. I don't know what exactly my mother had told him, but I'm sure that she probably had conversations with him like she did with me to, scoot him in that direction. Now what do we do? boot camp, and I finally do get home. And my mother. I go downstairs, and she shows me the freezer. There's these chains going around, and big padlock with a key. And she's got to take all this stuff off to open it up. But she finally gets the thing open, and there's a freezer full of garbage bags. Bags of grandma. Oof. What the? What the hell is wrong with you? What?
This mess is your fault, Eric.
She tried to throw back at me that the reason the situation had spiraled into this is because I wasn't there to do it. So my brother had to do it. And what was I going to do about it now?
We're all in this together, Eric. So solve this problem.
The only thing I could think to tell her was try and keep everything calm. Make it look like Elaine is alive and well on a vacation somewhere or something. And don't do anything else to attract attention. I still don't have any idea what to do about the body.
I don't care how you fix it, big man. Just fix it.
All I wanted at that point was to just get away. Pack up the truck, and away I go. Roundabout Tennessee, I'm smelling something bad. There's an ice chest with a rather familiar looking bag inside of it. I'm carrying a body across the country. She put the chest in there. Not even any warning. It's just, surprise. Yeah, it's not like I can dump this in a garbage somewhere or bury it. The only thing I could think to do was hold on to it so nobody else finds it. So I just keep going to San Diego. So I'm going down the highway, and all of a sudden I see lights come on, and this cop is pulling me over. And he starts going back to, take a look at everything, because that's what troopers do. They're going to look for something unusual. He starts to go on about what's in the chest. And now I have crossed the line. He's either going to kill me or I'm going to kill him. What am I supposed to do? This cop is pulling me over.
What's in the cooler?
Not much.
All right, well, I'm gonna go take a look.
All of this is now blown up, and it's about to hit the fan. I am at that point more than willing to get rid of him and stop this from happening. There is no turning back when you're that far in. And a speeder comes by. That just blew the doors off of everything. trooper abandons the whole investigate what's wrong with me and takes off after the speeder. Great. This is good. I'm just going to get down the road before that trooper comes back. When I got out to San Diego, I rented a storage unit and put the ice chest in a storage unit. There was this period for a couple of weeks where there actually wasn't any contact with my mother. So I'd kind of thought that things were leveling out, it was getting safe. Then my mother shows up.
We had to come, Eric. You have no idea what's happening at home. They keep asking questions. Where is Elaine? When is she coming back? Your brother is scared out of his mind.
She couldn't keep stalling people and telling them that, Elaine's on vacation.
Everything is completely falling apart.
One of the relatives finally called the police. Well, it just so happens that they wound up getting in touch with the same detective who had investigated my father's death. And nothing ever sat well with him. He started digging into it.
This is on you, Eric. You have to help us. If we go down, you go down.
Okay.
At that point, I was ready to abandon the Navy and run like hell.
Now, Eric, we're leaving now. Go.
Well, that's me. And that's my mother in the background. Right behind me. Whispering in my ear. Don't tell them anything. Don't cooperate. Just stay silent and see how it plays out. So I, of course, didn't cooperate with them. We got split up almost immediately. My brother started talking probably within an hour of being arrested. But I can't really blame him for it. I mean, he was a 15-year-old kid looking at going to prison for more than half of his life. So he said whatever they wanted him to say. And my mother, she had the best attorney she could arrange and was dumping everything on my head. But at that point, it still hadn't occurred to me that maybe I should cut a deal, maybe I should cooperate. When I was a child, I promised that I would see this through. I promised that I would be the one to take the fall. And trying to convince me even 7, 8 years later that I needed to break that promise, that was not an easy thing. And that was probably one of the hardest choices I ever made. I'm never going to say it's my mother's fault that I shot my father. Because in the end, I made a choice. She has to deal with the choices that she made. She's the one that had the grudge. She's the one that wanted them dead. There she is. That would be my mother. I haven't seen a picture of her in 20 years. She looks like she's getting old now. And they're gonna look at those eyes and go, it's just a sad old lady. That is not a sad old lady, that's a scheme waiting to happen. The body may be getting old. The hate goes on. She's not reformed, she's not rehabilitated. She doesn't think of herself as evil. But you look at everybody that was associated with her. Her children both wound up going through prison. Her husband's dead. There wasn't anybody in her life that wasn't one of her victims. We all paid varying cost. Some paid with their lives. But everybody paid something.